Oh, good. You found your way here despite my daylight savings muddle. I, as I said, Zen folks, we transcend time, but we can't beat the clock. I hope they do away with that whole thing. No, don't need it. Okay, I'm over here. Wait a second. Need a new candle. Well, good to see you all. I think our theme today is no goal.
Perceptions, formations, and consciousness are also like this. Oshari Putra, all things are expressions of emptiness, not born, not destroyed, not stained, not pure, neither waxing nor waning. Thus emptiness is not form, not sensation nor perception, not formation nor consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. No sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, nor object of mind. No realm of sight, no realm of consciousness. No ignorance, no end to ignorance. No old age and death, no cessation of old age and death. No suffering, nor cause or end to suffering. No path, no wisdom, and no gain. No gain, us bodhisattvas live this prajna paramita with no hindrance of mind. No hindrance, therefore no fear. Far beyond all delusion, nirvana is already here. All past, present, and future Buddhas live this prajna paramita and realize supreme and complete enlightenment. Therefore know that prajna paramita is the sacred mantra, the luminous mantra, the supreme mantra, the incomparable mantra, by which all suffering is clear. This is no other than truth. Therefore set forth the prajna paramita mantra. Set forth this mantra and proclaim Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Para Samgate, Bodhi Soaka. Hanya Shinyo. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reciting the heart of the perfection of great wisdom sutra, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, into those ancestral teachers, Eihei Dogen Honored One, Soji Keizan Honored One, all successive honored ones up until Zuigaku Renpo Honored One, and Gudo Wafu Honored One, and to all other honored ones throughout history, same yet diverse honored ones, whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. We also dedicate these efforts to the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, to all awakened ones and teachers in all places and times. We especially seek tranquility and well-being for all creatures now suffering or ill in health. May they be serene through all their ills. May their lives be at peace and wisdom pervade the darkness of ignorance. We dedicate our hopes and aspirations to all victims of war and violence and natural events, to the injured and to all families touched by these tragedies, to the healing of hatred in all countries and among all peoples, to the wisdom and compassion of our world leaders, to the peace of the world and harmony of all beings. Thus let the harmful effects of words, thoughts, and actions be dispelled, and compassion bloom in perpetual spring. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together. All Buddhas throughout space and time. All Bodhi
Get hit. We will have Zazen and a little talk. Can you all hear okay? We Soto folks often say that our sitting, our practice is goalless, without goal. And that's a very important point for us to truly understand. What does it mean to be goalless? Does that mean that there is no point, no goal of Zazen? Well, one thing is, just on a very worldly day-to-day level, it's a very good medicine for us who live our human lives filled with goals from morning till night. Sekishi had the goal to get us on the air here today. I had the goal to be here today. We have goals to raise our kids, goals to meet at the office, little goals, just eggs to pick up at the grocer's and grass to cut now that it's spring. Like that. Our life is endless goals. How wonderful, how peaceful, how refreshing just to sit for a time and put down all those goals. And we realize that there is an aspect of life where all is complete when we just put aside all need to change it, to fix it, to attain something more. That's even at those hard points of life. Someone wrote yesterday on a Facebook post that their husband is very sick. It's going to be a very difficult time, and of course their goal is to get better. But there's a certain wisdom even then, in those terrible times, to sit and just let everything be as it is. No goal even to get better. And just let everything be. And then life is just a big, shall we say, a big okay, just what it is. Then we get back up, cut the grass, get the eggs, try to make our husband better, go to the doctor. We do all that. It's very important. But there's another aspect to no goal, and I would not be a Zen teacher if I just left it there. You see, this is about awakening, realizing something about all reality. It's not just about picking up eggs and cutting the grass, though it's in the eggs and the grass too. You'll find it's in everything, but it's something very profound. This whole enlightenment thing, you see, is found in no goal. So some folks would say that no goal means that we're not after enlightenment. No, 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 no. Soto Zen is all about enlightenment. It's just that we realize that one way to get to the goal of enlightenment is by putting down all goals. Now, what could I mean by that? I'm reading one of these books for lay people like myself, written by a physicist and a philosopher on modern physics. And they make some interesting points. I'm not one to say that physics and Buddhism always agree on everything. I'm just saying that there are times when they happen to really, really have some wonderfully overlapping points. And this book makes a couple of interesting observations that I think fit right in with what we are realizing through our Zen practice of no goal. One of the things is, when you really, 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 really sit as no goal within no goal of no goal, absolutely no goal, there is no other place, you see. You see, a goal is to want to get someplace else. But when you're truly goalless, it's like you're sitting at the center of the target. No, you're sitting as the whole target. And all of reality is the target. There is no place else. And everything pours right in and is everything else. That's how goallessly we are. There is no other place to go, nothing more to achieve, means that it's all this and here. We are the target. All of reality is the target. Stretching out boundlessly, it's all the target, and everything in the target is everything else, you see. I like to express the experience as something like this. Usually we think that we are born into the universe, and then we die, and then the universe is just the stage where we are, and everything goes on without us. But these physicists make an interesting point. There's the view that the world came first and then the people. Then there's the idealistic view, that this is all a dream in our heads and we create the world between our eyes. But they point to something that's much more subtle. It's really both at once and it's all the same. Something like saying, there's no world without us and there's no us without the world, because we are the same thing. How to say that? If you're watching a movie, there's no movie without the viewer. There's no viewer without a movie to view. We turn the light, meaningless light on the wall, into a story. So the movie needs a viewer to be a movie, but the viewer has no story to view. So really, viewer and movie are all one thing. And this is kind of how the universe works. There you go, folks. When we sit goallessly, we realize that all things are just this one thing, going on and on. I like to say that the bird in the sky is the tree that's flying, and the tree on the ground is just the bird with roots in the ground. Paris is the capital of England and France, and London is the capital of France and England. Your left hand is your right hand on the left. This is hard for me, I'm a little dyslexic. And your right hand is your left hand on the right. I think I got that right. And all of it's you, the one thing, you see. Left hand, right hand, just you. It's so you, so radically goalless, so radically nothing else, that the right hand is you on the left. No, wait a second, you see, I got it wrong. The right hand is you on the right, but it's also the left hand on the right, because the left hand is you too. Like that. Yesterday, which we think happened before, and the dinosaurs, which we think happened a long time ago, and all the other events of the universe that we think happened a really long time ago, according to these physicists, not really, because the judgment of long time ago is a observer thing. Something like saying it was all now, just then. And it's still now. And then was now. Now has just kind of changed shape. Something like that. And tomorrow is also just now. But it's going to be now, then, which is just still now. Something like that. It's a little like saying that universe is, let's say, a DVD with that movie on it, right? And the movie has a beginning and a middle. We're watching the scene where we are now. It seems where we are now. And then there's this part of the movie to come. It's all on this DVD, right? The one thing is the future of the movie may not be totally written yet. But these physicists, I don't want to really get into this, but the physicists say that the past is also kind of being constantly rewritten too by what we, the observer, do. So we think we observers create the future, but in a sense, we're also constantly recreating the past by our experience of it, because it's not just an objective thing that happened. It's really like this constant dance in which, for example, have you ever watched a movie 5 times? Like I've seen The Godfather many times, and every time I watch The Godfather, it's a little different. Now, The Godfather's written history. It's already it was made by Coppola years ago, right? But every time I watch it, it changes. It's a different story, not quite the same, right? I notice things. Well, the past is like that, and the future is like that. But here's the thing that the physicist says. It's all the DVD, and we sit as this one DVD when we're truly goalless, you see. We're not just someplace in the story for a time and then we pop out. No, we are the whole story, man, the whole DVD. And we're constantly writing and rewriting it. It needs us to be the film, and we need us to have a film to watch. Something like that. This is what it means to sit goallessly, my friends. All the universe, all the time, just pours into and out of this right here, which is our little seat in the theater watching the movie, which is not your seat or the other fellow's seat. You're watching your version of The Godfather, and I'm watching mine. This is true. Things seem far away, the stars, but just like long ago, the physicists would say that your judgment of far away is also kind of perhaps mistaken. Who's to say that distant galaxies are really distant? Einstein, said that space and time are all bendy. They're all really bendy. I think that's what he used the term, the technical term, bendy, right? All kind of relative and folds in on each other. Well, when the movie, you watch a screen on a movie and it looks like, oh, here's a movie of the Grand Canyon. And it looks very vast, but it's all just light on this wall, right? It's not really far away or vast. Well, maybe the whole of the universe is like that too. It's not really far away and vast until us with our little measuring brains hold up a ruler and go, that looks really far. And that's really big and vast. But it's not. It's not any of that. It's beyond size and it's beyond far away or near until we, with our thinking, start saying, oh, that's far away. If you take an inch, okay, and start stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching for light years, suddenly your inch is the whole universe, but it still was that inch. Isn't that weird? Or if you took the whole universe and folded it up and folded it up and folded it up, you got just that singularity that we all came from, but where it's still that same singularity, man, just unfolded. Imagine a flower that's a tiny seed and becomes a vast tree, but it's still that same seed, now just spread out. Well, that's what this is. And there's no one to say it's big or small until we do. So stop saying that. Just stop saying it. Anyway, this talk is going on long. I'm not even sure what time it is because by coincidence our clock froze today. So I think it's still going. Sakashi, if I run really long with the Zazen, would you give me a holler? It's also daylight savings time. That shows too. I have no time. We don't even know what time it is now. So confused. Our Europeans and our Americans and our gosh knows what's going on in Australia. I don't even know what time it is. So all we can do is one thing. Let's sit right now, goallessly, goallessly in the goalless of the goalless of the goalless goal. Let's sit. We will now recite the verse of atonement and the 4 vows. And then we will sing the love theme to the Godfather. Da 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 da. I believe this week is the 50th anniversary of The Godfather. That's why I have The Godfather on my mind. But it's really a great film. Everybody, watch it again. Learn a lot about Buddhism, about good things, bad things, right? The evil that people do. Anyway, let's get back to our ceremony.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable.
No, seriously, imagine if Don Corleone was a Buddhist, we'd be out one good movie. It'd be like a Disney movie. And suddenly we'd be watching, a Mickey Mouse film. But if Mr. Putin was a Buddhist, imagine what this world would be. Unfortunately, he picked up judo, apparently. Wrong Japanese art. If only he'd been a Buddhist, right? Anyway, I wish peace to all of you. We're going to stick around and have some tea if anybody wants to hang out. Everybody else, bon voyage. I wish you peace in the world. Remember, you are the DVD, and make it a good story, please, this week. And everyone else, we're going to sit around. I guess we're going to talk about movies today. So I'm going to grab my tea. I'll be right back. I get to use my incredible Zoom function here. Let's see. Where is that? Somewhere. I lost it. Okay, anyway.